Hello, 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 and happy Wednesday. It is February the 5th, 2025, in 7 o'clock on the East Coast, and you have tuned in to the Power of Transformation broadcast. I am your host. I am Dr. Paula Obi, and we're back again to have another amazing show tonight. It is February, and February represents a lot of different topics: Black History Month, love, etc., etc. But tonight we're going to talk about love. Now, we're going to talk about love all week long, but tonight we have a special kickoff to talk about love. Now, let me tell you what you do. You don't want anybody in your family or your friends to miss it. And so if you love them, you will take your phone. You will text them and you will tag them and you will call them and you will say, you need to tune into the Power of Transformation broadcast tonight with Dr. Paula Obi, because you don't want to miss it. So when I ask you to do it, I'm going to do the same thing. We're going to be right back. I'm going to see you in a few. Well, hello. I absolutely love that music, and you will find me swaying to it. It just speaks to me. The beat and the rock. Okay, we're good. Well, guess what? Tonight, we have a very special guest. You might say I say that a lot. Everybody's special, but she's very extra special. Someone I've known a very long time, who's played just a major role in a lot of things that's gone on in my family, had a great impact on me. And I want to say a lot of things to her face. So we're going to bring in my cousin, Mary Obi Fuller.
Hello.
Well, hello, Gus.
Great to be here.
I'm so glad to have you here. I wanted to say this, but I wanted you to be visible when I said this. I just appreciate all that you have ever done for me. And I'm not going to start because, we are criers in our family and people don't know that. It doesn't take much, but she has her Kleenex. I have mine and we'll get together. But I just want to thank you for being there for me in a really, really rough time. I was young and I looked up to you and you did a great job of mentoring me for that season. And you also did a good job of helping me understand love.
Yes.
Because, honey, and I'm going to let you talk about your love. And by the way, tonight, the topic tonight is the endurance of love. You have an amazing story of love, and it was just beautiful watching you. And I'm going to let you talk about it. I'll interject when needed, but let's talk about your love story, Mary.
My love story started at a very early age. 15, when I met my husband, James, we call him Jim. First meeting, I was not impressed. In fact, I was with my sister Phyllis, and he said something snarky, and we were all teenagers gathered at the gathering spot. It used to be Warner's Soda Shop. He said something, I can't even remember today what it was, but I left in a huff. My sister and I left and we walked back home. So I didn't hear anything from this fella till there was a party in August at a friend's house. And he kind of sidled up to me and just started talking. And I said, well, sounds like this guy has something to say and he's about something. So I'll give him the time of day. Fast forward 51 years later. We've been through a lot, seen a lot, raised 2 wonderful children, and stayed close in our community. So it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been some good days and not so good days. But hey, That's life. You live long enough, guess what? It'll come to your door.
You'll understand exactly what you mean if you live long enough. And you know what I want to say. When you all were dating, Jim had a wonderful car. And I mimicked the sound. I'm going to do it. Every time you could hear Jim coming down the street, and because the sound was like boom, 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 boom. And his car was the envy of so many people because you could hear it. It was like the monster car. Tell me about that car.
It was an apple green 69 Chevelle.
Chevelle.
And he loved on that car. I think he loved on that car more than he loved on me. Oh my goodness.
I don't know.
Oh, you could hear him top the hill and he would break it down and my heart would just drop and flutter. I'd get so excited just to know he was coming. And my mother used to pick at me, well, here comes Slewfoot.
She did, and she did. It was amazing. It just tickled me so. It just tickled me. It was beautiful.
My parents embraced Jim. Loved him as their own son. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of history there. And my baby sister, Michelle, I believe Michelle was 5 years old. So she used to hang around when I wasn't car dating yet till I turned 16. So Michelle if Jim came over and we were sitting in the living room, she would come and prop in the middle of us. And I think I got a picture of her.
You do.
You do. Doing that. And it was great. Gosh. So I would imagine she saw him as her older brother because it was 4 of us girls.
Yes.
And but yeah.
Yeah.
Life was good.
It was, and it left a lasting impression on me because you could feel the love. You could just feel it, and I just loved it. 50 some years. Okay, Odessa, what a beautiful love story. And we always talk about how it starts. Let's talk about the middle and where you are now. 50 some years. That's a lot of days and weeks and a lot of love and endurance. What does all that mean to you?
Where I am now?
Where you are now.
Some of you do not know, but my husband was diagnosed with Lewy body in April of 23.
Okay.
We knew for a while that was something more going on with him. We just didn't know what it was. The pieces of the puzzle did not fit until we were in the neurologist's office. And I said, there's something more going on with my husband. It's more than the primary diagnosis. He asked a few questions and then he looked at me and he said, because my husband was there, you may want to go home and Google Lewy body dementia. My heart fell. But I kept a straight face. I didn't want to alarm him any more than he was alarmed. So I went home and did a little bit of research, cried some, and got myself together. And from that point on, cared for him. He was no longer driving. He was mobile at the time. He lost mobility and last year this time. And so now it's a process each morning. I said to Jim, honey, everybody gets a day off with me. I start my morning every morning, hit the floor. But I have to have my coffee first or some form of caffeine. But I love this man. And I realized that the vows that I said, for better or for worse, in sickness and health, had no clue when I repeated those vows when I was 18 what it actually meant.
That's right.
So I say that to say that every marriage is not perfect.
Right.
We've had some ups and downs, as I said, but through it all, he loved me and I loved him. And I'm in the position where I'm able to care for him. I do have help.
That's good. That's great.
I have noticed that when I tell him in the morning, it really sets my heart aflutter in the morning when I walk into the room and he says, "Good morning. I love you." Means a lot. He realizes how much I do for him. I
Mm-hmm.
do it out of love.
Out.
Yeah, there are some days I have to walk away and go in the other room and get myself together. But I'm human. God made us human. He didn't make us perfect.
That's right. That's
Yes.
right. And the love that you have, I mean, it even love flows and is powerful even through all of the tasks. Once your feet hit the floor, everything you do in a day, because I keep up with you pretty good. It's
Yes,
always
you do.
love. And your support system now knows how much you love. You've always loved him. That's just me. I've seen that love from the beginning, but it seems like the love that you have now is just a love of a.
It's a different love.
It's a different love. Talk to me about the different love. Before that was romantic, yeah, your children, but this love is like solid as a rock.
It's a different love. I affectionately kiss him on his forehead in the morning, and he responds to that. He
Mhm.
smiles. He has jokes. And what this love means now, it's it's a love for the long run, for whatever is yet to come.
Mhm.
The future's not written. It may not look good, but I'm enjoying the moment now. And I try not to project and stay in that moment for when, what if.
Right.
Because if you get caught up in the what ifs, you can't enjoy the what nows.
Absolutely. You cannot enjoy the what now, and there's some what nows that are coming. You came out of your shell,
I did.
and you wrote a magnificent Facebook post. I don't know if you even told me you were going to write it, but when I read it, I thought, wow, from the heart. There are a lot of people who need to be able to be free and to be honest and to do that. And I was so proud of you for standing in that place of love and really start the endurance piece that we're talking tonight. Started before then, but now it's taken on a different shape. Endurance means something different to you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, this was a post that I had been sitting on for quite a while, several
Okay.
months, and I wasn't released by the Lord to post it until this particular time. And for those of you that are not friends with me on Facebook, if you don't mind, I could go ahead and read it to you. Is that
Hey,
okay?
it's the endurance of love that we're talking about. I would think that that would be something we'd want to hear.
Okay. As my husband and I start this new year, I leave you with the following. As caregiver for my beloved husband, Jim, there are things I have learned on this journey. Louis is merciless. Mm. It attacks everything: mind, organs, muscles, skin, joints. Medicines mask, but they don't cure. Doctors can only help find the right meds. We invited hospice in to help him and me. Of course, there is never enough help. When I accept a new normal, It's never my new normal for long.
Yes.
If I'm not actively crying, my heart still weeps silently. Louis allows moments of time with my husband where he is nearly fully present. Then it steals him away and replaces him with a shell of himself who is lost in delusions and hallucinations. Going forward, the decisions are constant and difficult. Medical issues present daily. Time marches slowly on. I don't think I can take another day yet. The days pass into weeks, weeks into months, and the months into years. Louis is a slow death, one that took everything that makes life worth living for my husband. Love and faith is the only joy he and I know. I'm ecstatic when I walk in the room in the morning and he greets me with good morning, I love you. Grief is not only for the dead and dying, it's a daily thing for me. It's my constant companion. I made a choice of acceptance and continue to persevere without bitterness. That's important. We'll get to that later. Peace is only found in faith, in God, in hope, in eternal life. For those of you dealing with the same, I ask God blessings on your journey. It's hard. May you find peace, hope, love, and acceptance. Persevere. It is the greatest gift of love that you can give your loved one. Don't give up.
Okay.
Keep going. If not for him, for you.
Whew. And I will tell you, when she pressed post and the comments came in, I read every one of them. I don't think that you found freedom just for, I call you Odessa.
That's fine.
I think you opened up the door to freedom for a lot of people because your bravery and your story touched a lot of hearts. People were saying, thank you for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And it connected you with folks who are like, I'm right here for you. Did it strengthen your community of faith or what?
I had no idea.
You had no idea.
I thought I was dealing with it by myself and trying to put out the fires myself. And it was draining.
Yes.
It was draining. But this was an eye opener. I was like, oh, wow.
And and this, I don't know if you can answer this question the way, I don't know if I can ask it the way I will feel it. What made you so brave to write that post? What?
Because I've been dealing with it for months. I've been dealing with my feelings, processing grief, processing pain, processing unrealized dreams, plans that we had made. All of that was a process. And I realized I had to go through it to get to where I am now. But it wasn't easy. But to see the outpouring of love,
Yes.
once this was posted and once my truth was told and once I was transparent in my feelings, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And still is phenomenal because the doors now are open.
And I felt like a weight had been lifted off. I had no idea that I was walking around with all of this bottled up in me. But once I wrote it and posted it and let my feelings be known, I felt like a weight had been lifted.
Yes, and you still love. You didn't love, so you still love your husband. You still love the journey. However, you were open to be honest about the truth of the journey. Mhm.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's what makes a difference when you're talking about the transformation. There was a transformation in you that decided, I'm not going to keep this to myself. I'm going to share it in love. And it helped and blessed so many people. But then it reached out to a community of people who are now reaching out to you. You created,
My village.
you know, village. And the villagers are coming. They were just dialing her number. They were just
Yes.
texting. They were just calling. That was the coolest thing for me, to know
Yes.
that the villagers were going, I'm here. It's like they stepped out from behind the screen and said, I didn't know, but now I know I'm here. What do I need to do? How did that make you
Yes.
feel?
Made me feel loved.
Made you feel loved.
It did. Made me feel loved. People saw me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I see you. And a lot of responses were, I didn't know.
Right, right.
So,
Because sometimes when we love someone and we're going through something, we think that loving them the most is when we hold it to the chest. I don't know if that's a true statement for everybody, but I know within my circle that it seems to be, I love you. I'm just going to hold it right here. And I'm going to show you how much I love you. However, when you start stretching out and being as honest as you are and were, you just really spreading love. And that's exactly what you did. And someone needed to hear it,
yes,
read it, and respond to it.
absolutely. There are a lot of people that are dealing with some of the same that I'm dealing with. That they're alone and don't know how to reach out because, honey, I tell you right up, straight up, I was trying to do everything myself.
Because for us, that's our definition of love. Now you just walk down my street. For us, our definition of love is this mine, I have to do this mine, I have to do that, this mine, I have to do the other. I don't know where that thinking comes from, but love is actually more than just I.
It is.
It's
It
we.
is. It is.
And
Um,
it makes you understand that love is not a selfish thing. We're not trying to be selfish. We're just trying to handle our business.
yeah, yeah.
you know but then when we open up the door and those other loving people come in, we're like, wow, I didn't know you cared.
I had a situation, and I told you about it,
Mm-hmm.
with a person that came to my house to care for my husband. And she walked in, she had an attitude. I could have quickly caught an attitude.
That's right.
But you know what? I kept talking to her, asking how she was, genuinely concerned about her. Because I knew this person, what she presented with was not what this person was totally about. So I kept talking to her. She opened up. I found out later what had happened. And I just listened to her. Listening to someone is a form of love.
It
It
is.
shows that you value this person when you give them your undivided attention. It may not be for a minute or 5 minutes, but just take the time to listen to a person, and it doesn't hurt. If you see me out, I'm probably the happiest person with a smile on my face wherever I go, and I always speak. But if the person that I speak to does not speak back to me, it's not on me. It's on whatever that person is dealing with. So I just keep. I spoke. I did my whatever, and I just keep it moving.
And when
I
you
think that's what the
understand,
world needs more now. We need to show more love.
we need to show more love. And what was her response after you opened the door of love? You just gave her a boatload of love. What
She opened up to me. She
she
told me
opened up.
what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could have caught an attitude real quick.
Yeah,
It was about to, but the Lord checked me.
checked you.
Don't you say what you want to say. No, don't say that.
You know, what's really funny? In our family, we're gentle, giant. You're just gentle, Yeah. But honey, when you get to the other side,
Yeah.
then sometimes God has to check us because we will just let it roll. And at that moment,
Yeah.
you recognize that she needed the listening. So you did the love is patient, love is kind piece that's in First Corinthians. And she
Yeah.
was able then to talk to you. And how did that change your relationship with her?
She went away, she left the home, she left our home in a better mood.
In a better
Um, I don't think of she's been back, but for whatever reason, I do think it gave her something to think about. And
mood.
she had left in a better mood than when she came in.
And that's the power of love.
Yes.
So even in your whatever situation that we are in, we have the ability to actually look at someone else and say, okay, you need something. So are you okay? Just something simple as, are you okay?
Yes. Means a lot.
It means a lot. Are you okay today? You sure? Do you need anything?
Yes.
You're not yourself today. And that's, when someone's not themselves now, some people have attitude all the time. And so that they maybe need a little bit more work, on the love part. But when you care, people genuinely know when you care about them.
Yes.
You
And they
never,
generally and they usually respond.
and they normally respond because we don't have any idea what somebody's going through sometimes.
But don't get disappointed if you don't get back what you poured into it,
That's true.
because when they leave, they may have a moment where they will think back, you know, about how they were and what was said.
Right. Right.
Um, but when we have so many people in and out of our home, uh, because of my husband's care, and I always warmly greet them. Never know what situation they're in, but I want them to feel the love that we have in our home.
Right. That's
I
right.
have an amazing neighbor. Is it something that I can do for you? Can I sit with your husband? Do you need to go back and take a nap? I mean, little things like that. I mean a lot. It's not just lip service.
It's priceless.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now is the time. You said something earlier, and I don't know if I'm repeating it, but you said we need more of that love. Love
Yes,
is
we
really
do.
that kind of love means a lot. Now, you and I had kind of not talked in a while. A lot had been going on in my life, and so we had a little bit of a disconnection, especially since the family reunions are no longer scheduled. The family doesn't get
Yeah.
together as much. We kind of need to work on that, I guess. However, you had something hit your heart and you reached
Back in June,
back in June. What did you do?
I reached out. I
She reached
reached
out.
out to you, and I was like, I don't know what's going on, but I need to see her and I need to see my uncle.
Yes.
And I was persistent.
Very,
So
very.
I said, okay, when she gets a moment, she'll reach out.
Mhm.
So fast forward to September, the Lord had a burning, um, I couldn't rest. I was like, I have to talk to her. I have to see Uncle. What is this? So I did that. I was obedient to the Lord's word.
Mhm.
What he wanted me to do, I was obedient in doing that. And I thank him for that, because the reconnection has been so sweet.
It has been.
So sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it lets me know that I'm not in this alone. That I have
Alone.
a family member that's engaged and as committed as I am.
Yes.
And
Yes.
my children have been great. They have been beyond great. But they have families too, and they have jobs. They're out here. My husband asked my daughter this morning. He said, what are your plans for the day?" And she paused a minute. She said, "Daddy, I'm working, and it'll be 15 years before I can retire." He said, "Mm." And I said, "Listen to this.
Listen to this.
Uh, Jim's always been a hard worker. He's never been a lazy person. He was always an outdoorsman, always doing. And so I'm sure in his mind that this has been an adjustment for him.
Hunting, fishing. Yeah.
Yes, hunting, fishing, and working.
And working.
So, and of course, yeah, he had a little fun, but who doesn't? But anyway, I just love him where he is.
You know what? Can we put that? Can we type that somewhere? I just love him where he is. That's
Mhm.
priceless. You know what? God is like that. Jesus is like that. We just love you where you are. That's a great message for you deliver to you for you to deliver. I just love him where he is. You're not doing anything but just loving him where he is. Okay, I'm going to stop repeating it, but I think it's a great way to explain how you feel. When you love somebody where they are, your expectations are real,
Mhm.
realistic. You're not asking for anything that can't be done. So you're not mad because it can't be done. You're just walking in your truth and loving him where he is. I love that. I love that, cuz.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I've always just thought the world, of you. Yeah, I've always just thought, and the love, we just need more examples of love. Love is not always easy. But I
No.
read somewhere that love is a choice.
Yes,
You have to
exactly.
choose. You have to choose to love. Now, the Bible, in First Corinthians tells us that love is patient, love is kind, and it has all of these characteristics that we can actually use. But we have to put all of that to work. And when you utilize it every day, it's a process. It takes work, and every day is not going to be the same.
That's true.
But what I
That is so
hear
true.
from 50 some years from you and watching you, because I was just a mere babe.
You
when
never know who's watching you.
when you were house dating, and that love was just amazing. And I've watched you down through the years, and to be able to wrap my arms around you now, you don't have to worry about us communicating now. It might be 5 times a day. We're texting. I'm trying to get her to get an iPhone, but she just won't do it, so we can't FaceTime. But I'm
Well,
working
my
on
son-in-law wants me to come back from the dark side. That's what he always says. Miss Fuller, you got to come from the dark side. I said, wait a minute. I said, I got to do baby steps. I mean, I just have to work out, what I could do and when I could do it. As
Yes, yes.
um, it's a learning curve.
It's a learning. Now, Odessa, I gotta talk about this one little thing. Now, Odessa is a major cook. Now, let me tell you something. The girl can grill. When we would have our family reunions, everybody wanted to know what Odessa was bringing. What's Odessa bringing? And we would go over to her table before everybody else got there. So you've always been an incredible cook. You got that from your mom's side of the family. Your mom was an excellent cook. Shout out to our Aunt B. But that's another place where you show your love. You're finding ways to just show all of your love. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But Paula, all of that has changed with the caregiving. The kitchen is partially closed. I tell the children, if you come into the house and you want something special, you better call ahead. My husband has always been the type of person, when he would eat breakfast, he was already thinking about lunch and dinner. And I never had to worry about what am I going to cook. Because he would let me know, I got a taste for such and such.
Mhm.
And then I would say, I want something such and such. And he would say, oh, we're thinking just alike. I said, we've been married too long. But I want to address something.
Okay.
We had always slept in our bedroom. And the hardest thing, Paula, for me last March, was to put him in another room in the hospital bed, because he was falling a lot. He couldn't stand up. When he would get up in the morning, his legs would give out. For a moment, I can't tell you, you don't want your legs to give out in the shower. Oh my God.
No.
He did that. He almost passed out in the shower. I really caught it trying. He was slick as a slippery eel. I said, Lord, how am I going to get this man out of the shower? I toweled him off as best I could. But I say that to say it broke my heart, because we had always shared a bed together, our bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, it took me a long time to sleep during the night, because I was so used to him, being there. So that was another adjustment. Honey child, when I put him in the next room, I was more tore out of frame than he was. He was okay. And I was like, okay, oh, what does this mean? When he told me, it was no big deal.
It means you had to learn to love him where he was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So just every week or every day, something different. Whatever presents itself, I have to deal with it. I pray over it.
Yeah.
I pray a lot. I talk to God a lot. At night when I can't sleep, sometimes I'll lay in the bed and I'll think about things, and I said, Lord, it's me again. I know you're tired of hearing from me, but
he never tires of hearing from you. He wants you to hear. And we've always been encouraging each other to journal.
Yeah.
Even if you don't write it down now, that you can type, because those are things that are from the heart, and it does help you. It does help me. I go and buy a cute little journal and I'll journal, and it just makes a difference when I'm reflecting. And what you're saying, you've condensed it, but 50 some years of love and just pouring it out, even though you may not be sleeping in the same room, he's in the next room. Now he'll let you know he's in the next room.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He'll call out, and my little four-legged fur friend, baby, she does more now with Jim than what she used to. She'll crawl up in his lap if he's sitting in a recliner, or she'll want to get up on his bed and sit and stuff. So she's like guarding him. That's another aspect that I hadn't seen before from her. So even a dog can show love.
Oh, absolutely.
Companionship.
Oh, absolutely.
What does that say about us?
Well, there's a lot I could say, but I'm just going to let that linger out there in the atmosphere. What does that say about us? If they're just open to love, then we should be open to love as well.
Absolutely.
I am so proud of you and the way you are sharing and what you have shared. You are still beaming.
Yes.
In my mind, I still see that Odessa with the afro
Oh my goodness.
walking up and down the hill to get the popsicle from the grocery store. I
Poor
still
Paula.
see you and Jim getting out in and out of that Gran Torino. I still see that. That's precious love. Look at the impact you had on me.
Yeah.
Period. I'm proud of you and Jim and your family. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for sharing your story. We have just a few more minutes. I know I need to bring this train around. This train has been chugging along. You know, you've been talking. This is February. It's Love Month. I think that we did an amazing job to kick off this
Yeah.
story about the endurance of love coming from you. There's more love to come, right?
Yes.
Every single day is an opportunity. Every moment is an opportunity. But I know Odessa likes to go to bed a little early, so we can't keep her up too late.
Paula, you didn't have to tell that.
Because number one, she's up with the tickets, so she knows she can't text me early because I'm gonna be like,
When I get a text from Paula at 8:50, between 8 and 9, I know something's up.
mm-hmm. And so she's like, "Cuz, what's up?" I am not talking to you early that morning. So at 8:30, 9 o'clock, I know I cannot. If I send her a text, she's gonna see it the next day. But the bottom line is, it has been an awesome time talking to you tonight. It has been an amazing time reconnecting with you because we have learned to be each other's support system. Not to mention the fact that we can step back in time and reach out some goodies and have a conversation and giggle and laugh
Oh,
about that.
yes.
But tonight, the focus on the love between Odessa and Jim, the endurance of love, has warmed my heart, and I'm sure it's warmed the heart of people who are viewing. Tell your folks to like and share this story, because I know that there are other people who are feeling that same love. That's all right. You can still have the Valentine's, celebrate your Valentine. That's all right. Do it. Celebrate.
Absolutely.
So as I'm getting ready to turn the Power of Transformation train around, it's been, coasting a little bit. I say, the power of transformation is based on Romans 12:2. It's an excerpt that says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Odessa, how many times did you have to renew your mind?
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
A whole lot. Every day, every minute. I always tell, it's always not a day at a time, one day at a time. No, not for me. It's 1 minute to the next, because it can change.
It can change. It can change. And I'm thankful that you're showing yourself some love in our interactions. I've been hearing you say, well, I'm doing this for me. I'm like, yeah. Because we can't convince ourselves that we need love, but we still need it. So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about our journeys together. We keep each other in prayer. We support each other. If you want to join this village, I don't want to call it a village, but you certainly can do that. Because this village knows how to love, and we're learning to love every day. So I've turned the train around. We're coming into the station. I'm getting ready to pump the brakes.
Yes.
And put it in park. What's the last thing you want to say to folks about the endurance of love?
The last thing I would like to say is just be transparent. Love the person wherever they are, and love yourself. You gotta love yourself too. Mm-hmm. So yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, cuz. Thank you so much. We call Odessa. She's named after Mama Mary. Just great gems. And I'm going to tell you, we're here. And I'm going to say to you, you have to trust the process.
Yes.
I'm going to, amend that a little bit. You have to trust the love in order for the power of transformation to take its root in your house. Trust the love, because it's an enduring love. And that's what I'm saying to everybody. I don't want to stop because we have a lot more to say, but we can't say it all in one night. But we're just so glad. Thank you so much, Odessa, for being with us tonight and sharing your loving story. It's amazing. There's more to it, but thank you for showing me the example as a young girl, and even now as we're working together with our own situations. And I'm telling you, the listeners, like and share. because God has something special for you. When you're in that caregiving mode, you have the opportunity to show love on an entirely different level. You just need to be open. You just need to be honest and let God show you the way and connect with some really good people like my cousin. So that's all we have for you tonight. We want to see you next week, and we love you. Take care, everybody.
Absolutely.
Good night. Good night.